Right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new series of the Reyt Road Trip with me, Colin Maloney from RGM Magazine. And the third series is going to be the biggest series. And the first guests on the first episode are the Blinders. Hey up, lads.
Hello, mate.
How you doing? You alright?
Good, yeah.
So we're driving around Fallowfield. So this is where... So you're originally from Doncaster, aren't you?
Yeah. We came over from Doncaster about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, sort of moved into the traditional student area, which is known as Fallowfield in Manchester.
This is where we are, nice leafy suburban area. I just want to start with Doncaster a little bit though, because I'm from Sheffield myself, and I've just moved to Manchester. And you guys, how long ago was it you moved to Manchester?
About 4 years.
About 4 years ago. So you're kind of way ahead of where I am with this place. But there's a little industry in Doncaster that is producing musicians, isn't it? Like Bang Bang Romeo. You've got people like Jimmy Mack that are just doing great things for local people in Doncaster and supporting the scene and that kind of stuff. Jimmy, there we go, lads. So just like, what were your like original thoughts of Doncaster? I know it's easy to say that it's gone to shit and all that kind of stuff with governments and money and that kind of stuff, but the creative part of Doncaster's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, with the music venues in Doncaster, you know, there's plenty to choose from and get started.
Yeah.
But the only problem with it was that bands didn't come through there. If it was a touring band, they go to Sheffield or Leeds.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get touring bands going to Doncaster. So I think that's the only difficulty with a place like that. But it's breeding some good stuff. That's where we used to.
Oh, is this the house there, right?
Because put curtains in my bedroom.
Yeah, they did it.
That was where we spent the first years in Manchester.
Oh, here we go. This is the street of them when the Blinders first came to Fallowfields.
5 people.
Should we knock on the door?
Yeah, go and knock on the door.
Go on, reverse it. I'll knock on the door.
Yeah, go and knock on the door.
Shall we go and have a look?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Does Doncaster still feel like home?
I mean, we go back there every now and then, and obviously where your family is something that you'll never leave.
Yeah.
Your heart will always belong with those. But no, I think we're very much at home in Manchester, and I think with mindsets such as ours, we were bred for a big city sort of living.
Because I've lived in Sheffield for 40 years. I'm 40 now, and I've just moved to Manchester, and you can be a bit insulated, can't you, by living in the same place all your life? So do you think you'll stay in Manchester now? Your ambition, like when the band gets to a certain stage, you think you'll have to move to London and that kind of stuff? Is that a thing?
Very open to the idea.
Yeah.
Given that we've sort of we've not been here long enough to sort of call it a permanent home, then we're totally open to the idea of London or abroad. Berlin to us sounds wonderful.
I don't think we have any intentions of leaving Manchester anytime soon.
Sure.
Can't afford to yet.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't blame you. And what does like Manchester mean to you now as a band? What kind of connections do you have with the place? Like for me, just a couple of examples. We used to leave Sheffield and go to the Big Smoke, Manchester, for gigs, and I used to be in a band. We did the odd gig in Manchester. And it was just another world, really, just to be out there. So I've always got loads of fond little memories from escaping Sheffield and travelling to a bigger city. So I've always got that connection with Manchester, really, and always loved it. So we're just wondering where you are with it.
Yeah, we've always had that as well. We've always held Manchester in quite a sentimental place, really. Our families used to bring us up here for gigs and even just for days out, like you say, just experience a city.
And you guys?
Yeah, the same sort of thing. It's definitely become like our pseudo home.
Spiritual home.
I certainly feel completely comfortable here.
There's a lot of support mechanisms here as well, isn't there? There's a lot of creative people here that are all doing their own little things, and maybe not bands, working hard together, but as an industry, there's quite a lot going on with different people that support each other, like networking events and that kind of stuff in Manchester. I found as well. I don't know how.
Definitely, obviously a lot of bands obviously tour here. You know what I mean? So you kind of get a lot of your mates who you might have out on tour kind of thing, or are from elsewhere. From London, for example, or when the else they pass through. So we always kind of got new faces passing through it, and you can obviously go and see them. And, so that sort of social aspect to it as well.
So
have you been down here, by the way?
No, this go on. Wow.
The Curry Mile. You can get the best curry in Manchester.
I think I have.
It's all along here. What? This one to the left called Mumbai's, I think.
I think I stayed down here to watch Baby Shambles once.
Yeah.
And we got rat horse.
This place here.
I was sick somewhere.
Mughley, Mumbai. That is the best curry house in Manchester.
There we go. Little advert for you there, guys.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Is that the main man outside? Does he know you were driving past? That's it.
What's that sign it used to say?
Oh, it said, "Don't worry, tourists. We speak English."
Does it? What we like to do at RGM is specialise in supporting a band from the proper grassroots. So if you're playing, I don't know, really tiny venues in Doncaster or Sheffield, and then watching that progression to where you guys are now. So how has the live shows changed? Doing gigs in bigger venues and festivals and bigger stages. How have you lads thought about that and planned ahead for it to keep putting on these great shows that you do?
Yeah, very naturally, really. As you say, when you build up to larger and larger venues, it only feels not only you're craving artistically to improve and really create a show out of what you're doing, but you feel like you'd be underselling people if they were paying all that money for a ticket to go and see a show at the Reyt, and they just watched 3 people on a stage fuck about. So it's something we've thought about a great deal. And
I heard your John Robb interview where you talk about the face paint and that kind of stuff. It's just it's another way to stand out from the crowd. Really, you mentioned that you were influenced by Arctic Monkeys. You didn't really like saying it out loud, just because a lot of bands say it, and it's a bit. Yeah. It's one of those things. But you started with the face paint. Your shows got, visually different, just to stand out from the crowd a little bit. And
when we started tapping into that sort of visual side of performance, we really felt we were onto something a little bit. Once you get a taste for it, you see how far you can push it, and I think it's best described as you'll be quite amazed at yourself for how far you'll go if you just cover your face and your identity up. But with that comes the whole performance around it, being influenced by the Stooges, for example. These great performers, the Doors. It just felt very natural.
We'll just finish it off with the face paint and that kind of stuff. You mentioned that you're probably not gonna be doing that again, maybe after these shows. Is that right, or do you think
probably the end of the cycle?
End of the cycle of the Columbia album, touring, that kind of stuff.
I mean,
because I just thought it were iconic. The album cover, I just think you walk into a record shop and you see that, it stands out. It's an iconic image.
Well, the paint had a lot to do with Columbia, and when listening back to Columbia, we've changed massively as both as people, but writing style, and we've been sat on new material now since June last year. That we've not, this is going to be album 2, so in our heads that's where we're at, but in the perception of people, we're still in Columbia, which is frustrating. So I can't wait to finally take off the.
So is it just is it like a legal thing? You're not allowed to play them tunes yet?
No.
Just can you do like one on the new tour?
No one wants to hear a bunch of songs that they've never heard before. We've made a conscious decision when putting the set list together for these upcoming shows. I think you made a good point, Charlie, about the idea that just no one wants to hear a bunch of new songs, really.
It's certainly difficult to, like Tom says, we've kind of moved on personally, and
you're a little bit bored of playing them.
No, because I think when you play, obviously, if you walk on a stage at the Reyt kind of thing, and you've got 1,000 people there, I don't think you can get bored of playing anything, but I think there is that will just to develop things and push things forward a little bit. So I think we're going to play a couple of new ones, to test them out and to give people an insight on what's coming sort of next. But I think we still, because obviously some people have that lots. You've kind of got a fan base where some people have seen you like 300 times, and some people have probably haven't seen you yet. We're kind of in that middle stage, so you kind of got to appeal to both sort of crowds there, haven't you?
Because you see some bands just put on a show. They've got a new album out and they just play it's before the album's come out, and they're playing live songs and they're playing 90% of the new album and a few old songs, and fans don't like that, do they?
It can be frustrating when you.
I get it, yeah.
From the band point of view, yeah. But there's a balance, isn't there?
I went to the National last week and they did that. They played like it was like a kind of a test and warm-up gig.
Yeah.
They played the entire new album, and it was incredible. I mean, I don't think many bands can really get away with it.
No, with a band like
you know,
that.
yeah, it's a bit of an exception, you know. And, but I was like, yeah, you couldn't watch many bands do that.
Yeah.
And watch them play, 90% like say the stuff.
Where'd you watch that?
Royal Festival Hall in London. It's like the venue and all that was, was kind of spectacular. So you get away with it. But,
Oh shit! I need to go straight, don't I?
No, turn.
Oh, is it alright?
Yeah.